Morning, Botai. Erev Shabbat Shalom. We've been speaking about the mitzvah of rising for elders and Talmidei Chachamim. In the words of the Poskim, we find that the definition for elders, Mipnei Seva Takum, is subject to a little bit of a machloket. The Poskim and Maran HaShulchan Aruch write that an elderly man or woman, it applies to both, begins from the age of 70. From 70 and on, that's considered Seva. Whereas the Ari Kadosh, Lefi Yasod, says it begins from 60. Therefore, Halacha, although Halacha dictates that a person only needs to stand from the age of 70, if a person can be strict and stand up for an elderly person from the age of 60, matovu mana'im tavo alav bracha. Now, what happens if a person doesn't know? Anytime an elderly person walks by, you don't know exactly his age. So what are you supposed to do? So Maran Zechron Bracha writes in Alichot Olam Chelek Chet, he says, you don't have to ask the person their age, but because there's a safek, the dictum of the Chachamim, safek deoraita lechumra, when you're not sure about a din Torah, you have to be machmir. The halacha is that you have to stand up regardless for the person. Now, this only applies to a zaken. If you see a regular yeshiva boy or avrech, you don't have to think, maybe he's a Talmid Chacham and I have to stand up for him. You only have to stand up for a Talmid Chacham when you know that he's higia le'ora'ah. You know that he's able to Paskin Shayla, he's proficient in Shas and Poskim, but otherwise, there's no chiyuv to stand up. When do you have to stand up? The halacha is that for a zaken or zakena or Talmid Chacham, the halacha is you only have to stand up when they enter your 4 amot. 4 amot radius is about 6.5 feet. So if you have a radius around you of 6.5 feet, when they enter that, you have to stand up. When they exit that radius, you can be seated. Unlike parents and Rabu Muvhak, that you have to stand up as soon as you see them when they enter the room, and you have to remain standing either until they're seated or until they leave your eye shot. Kim lo einav, you can't see them anymore. By a zaken, zakena, or a regular Talmid Chacham, you don't need that. The din is be'arba amot. We'll continue with some of these halachot next week, Be'ezrat Hashem. This evening, Be'ezrat Hashem, Mincha Kabbalat Shabbat and Arvit. The earlier minyan for Mincha downstairs at 6:20, up here in the main shul at 7 o'clock. Shabbat Shalom Vorach.